Thanks for having me here.
How are you?
Alice, another preacher's son. PK, preacher kid.
Really?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, he's a preacher kid, so am I. And we did an interview one night, and Wes Craven was doing it. He had some kind of radio thing, and it was the three of us, and Wes Craven was a preacher's kid, too.
Wow.
So the first 5 minutes, we're like, hey, was it weird growing up being a preacher's kid?
Is that why you guys are all so deviant?
No, I'm the nice one of the three.
Collective Soul, tonight's going to be an incredible show, Ed. I think
It's going to be so much fun.
ZZ Top, Sammy, Collective Soul, and Andrew Hagar will open up the KSHE 50th birthday party. And
that's right. Happy birthday, man.
yeah, thank you.
That's great.
I got the shirt on that
Where's mine?
that proves it. You
Where's
know,
mine?
Kristen, where are you at? So. Welcome back.
Thank you,
and so I have had you in the studio before, and it was a few years ago, but that first time Collective Soul played in St. Louis was under the train shed,
I remember
right
that.
where KSHE was, and people went bonkers for you guys.
I think I told you that story because some people got hurt.
Yeah.
And kind of had to stop the show, excuse me, and being the nice Southern gentleman that I was, it was like the first time where we witnessed something like that, being on stage. So I went over to check on, the people that got hurt, and there was this really pretty girl there, and I kind of
You took advantage of the situation.
I didn't take advantage. I just made sure she was bandaged up right, correctly, well taken care of.
Right. And does Collective Soul, and I know we're kind of kissing our own butt here, KSHE-wise, but does Collective Soul, you have relationships with radio stations that go back far? Do you have a handful that you remember?
There truly is y'all, and then there's 99X in Atlanta, which will be celebrating their 25th anniversary in October. But we're from Atlanta. So,
right, so that's your hometown.
And then JR in Orlando. But as you know, I think it's kind of changed its format over the years. So
and KSHE's been the same.
Yeah. So it's we're still making it. We're still doing
it. Right.
Love it.
I was going to say that when you met Sammy, that was when you guys did the Van Halen tour. Is that the first time you met him?
First time, yeah.
So what did you think when you got the call to say, hey, you're going to open up for Van Halen?
Seriously, we were in our parents' basement rehearsing.
Really?
We still didn't have a rehearsal space or anything. Everything happened so quickly for us, as you know, with Shine becoming a hit before people knew what our band name was or what we were like. I just remember us at that time. I can remember us going, "Wow." Everything was just surreal back then for us because everything happened so quickly from, song doing as well as it did, Woodstock, Aerosmith, Van Halen, and we were just like, man.
So that was the first record still when you got asked?
And it was the second
That
one,
was the second
which
one?
we consider our first because the first record was a batch of demos, as you know.
Right.
I had recorded in a basement over a 5-year period. So it truly wasn't a band. It was, some hillbilly in a basement making songs.
Good songs.
Thank you.
Good songs. And so, so the second record is considered your first record.
We do, yeah. And then to go out with Van Halen, who just kind of took us under their wing. They were just so kind and literally helped guide us in a lot of areas because we were just so excited and new to everything. And that's where the friendship struck up with all of them, and Sammy, Michael, Anthony. I mean, I was on my honeymoon and just happened to be in Cabo, and I just called Sammy. I was like, hey, you're around? I can't do my Sammy impersonation. But,
Favaz!
All you got to do is walk out the back of the hotel, take a ride on me, John, 50 yards on the beach. Ow! So got to hang out. He's just the coolest cat on the planet.
He is.
I just love his energy.
So back in the day, though, when you were opening for Van Halen, did you guys party a lot together? I mean, I think that's what
we
people
thought we
really
were going to get fired one night because, we got very comfortable with him. Let me just be honest here. And so we were in Michael's tent. They took a little break. Each one of them would do a solo. So they took their little break, and we met him in the tent. He had his bottle, and we brought him one. And we finished both bottles, which fairly quickly, within about a 4 or 5 minute period. And then they had a grill stage. So Sammy Michael went back up there, and he's not afraid. I'll tell the story. It's great. So anyway, we had something that we were blowing up under the grill so he could. And about that time, Sammy comes over and goes, he's been back there with those soul boys. I'm going to kill him. I'm like, oh, Lord. We just got fired, boys.
Those soul boys.
Those soul boys. He loves that.
That's great. The last time that I interviewed Sammy in this room, you guys opened that show.
We did.
When the new record came out.
Correct.
Was that last year
No,
already?
I think
Or was it 2 years ago?
Yeah.
2 years ago. So
I had some bouffant hairdo going on there.
Did you? I don't even remember. I had Will Turpin in here that day.
You had Will?
Yeah. Yeah, fine young man, Will Turpin.
You go live on the bus with him for a couple of years. No, Will's great.
We're talking to Ed Roland of Collective Soul, and they go on at 6 tonight. I've been telling everybody, don't miss Collective Soul, because I've been seeing Collective Soul since the American Theater days. Do you remember that venue?
Yes.
It was like a little bitty small one, and right in the heart of downtown.
Yeah, right downtown. That's right.
Downtown St. Louis. So, and then Sammy, this 50th anniversary gig tonight, did you get asked by like a booker, or did Sammy go, "Hey, I'm going to play this," or how does that happen?
This is earlier this summer, and just once again we go back to how much we enjoy being around Sammy and Michael and all them, and they were like, "Is there anybody you'd like to go out?" I was like, "I always enjoy Sammy. It's like it's just like a, I don't know, family reunion.
It's got a cool plane too."
Yeah. I know, Sammy. Why haven't we been able to ride the plane yet? It's just fun. It's almost like going to camp.
Really?
It's that much fun, and he allows us to be what we are, and it's fun.
All right. So what's new or next for Collective Soul? Is there
a new record? Well, a live record comes out, which is the first one. We did a live record like 13 years ago with Atlanta Youth Orchestra, which was
I remember
a lot
that.
Of fun,
Yeah.
A lot of fun. But this is the first one where it's just the 5 guys on stage. It's a rock live record, and we've never done that. We wanted to do that, and then the next studio recording comes out April or May of next year, which I go home next week, and basically it's 80% done. I just have to sing a little bit.
Wow,
nothing important, just vocals.
80% done already? Really?
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised. I mean, it seemed. Well, I mean, it's been a couple of years, but do you guys work at it on the road or what?
No, when we go home, I had the studios in my house,
right?
And we literally get excited. I'll show guys the ideas out here, and we get excited. We'll play it at pre-production. We'll play one tonight no one's ever heard. And to me, that's the best pre-production you can do for a record, is play it in front of an audience, in front of your fans, and see if they like it. And if they don't, we know that will not be on the record.
All right. So, Ed, thank you for being here.
Thank you, man.
We can't wait to see you tonight. And thank you for all the. Thank
Happy
you.
Birthday. That's
well,
awesome.
You were as far as KSHE goes in the '90s, you were one of the bigger bands that we ever played.
Oh, man,
that is for sure, man.
Well, thank you, brother.
And like I said, never forget those those early days when people got hurt at your first gig in St. Louis. It's kind of crazy. So
and now I hope I don't pull a muscle on stage. We've gotten to that point.
I hear you. All right. So once again, if you're on your way into the amphitheater, Collective Soul goes on at 6 o'clock and plays for about an hour. And
and Andrew
they
goes
are
on
a rock
30.
band.
And Andrew goes on at 5:30.
5:30-ish. Yeah.
So
goes right
come
before
check him
you.
out. He's a good kid, man.
All right. Ed Roland, Collective Soul, thank you. Appreciate
you.
Oh, I know what I was going to ask you. I'm going to play Gel.
Right.
What's that about?
Literally, I wrote that, which is funny because at the time it was where I thought I was getting a little bit more serious about my lyrics, and it's basically based on what's going on, from race relations to religious relationship.
Really?
Yeah. If you think about it, if you
Yeah.
read the lyrics, so. I was really excited. I thought I was maturing as a lyricist, and then it gets on the Jerky Boys soundtrack. So
It did. It did.
Wah, 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 wah. I love the sound. I love the Jerky Boys, but it just, to me, I was like.
But a serious song.
Serious, to me, lyrically, it's
Yeah.
a rock song, but
Right.
it had a message I felt that I was proud of, and then all of a sudden, Jerky Boys.
Are you playing that tonight, you think? Or do you
I don't
not
think so.
You don't think so?
I mean,
All right.
we will. I mean,
All right. Well,
it's
I'm gonna
tough
play
when
now.
you have 10 albums of studio material in 60 minutes. So
Right.
I don't know.
I'm glad you get an hour tonight.
I mean, me too. That's very
That's
sweet.
nice.
Seriously.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, well, you want Gel or River Flows? Do you remember that one?
That's the song that what's his name played on American Idol too. No,
that's
wasn't
World I Know.
World I Know.
Okay.
Yeah,
that one's on there.
That one's
You want River Flows or Gel? Just say one word.
Gel.
Okay.
All right. We're gonna hear it tonight.